Do you want to know about some of the up-and-coming talent on the professional boxing scene? Well, stay tuned. Today's guest is a bit special. He's a former 3-time Irish champion, a former European silver medalist, and a former world bronze medalist. Hailing from Dublin, Paulryan. How you doing, Paul?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm not bad. I cannot complain. So, listen, how is life treating you?
Great, really good. Spirits are high. Body's feeling great, we're hitting new levels in training every day, so we're happy. The coach is happy camper,
Yeah, it's true. No COVID, no injury issues, nothing like that trying to creep in?
Nothing at all. I've been blessed my whole type of career that I've never picked up any injuries, I've never broken anything, touch wood obviously, but I'm being very lucky with that. Yeah. And COVID wise, we've all been following guidelines, measures, everything we need, so it's full steam ahead.
Nice. So listen, before we get into the journey of how you got to the pro scene on the whole amateur side of things, talk to me about you're out, aren't you, on March the 18th, 19th?
Yeah, Friday, March 19th.
And
so we're getting close now.
I know, but listen, this is not your first debut as such, is it? I mean, you were supposed to go out to Boston and fight. Talk to me about that.
So I originally signed for a company back in November 2019. That was great, all good. January 2020, I made the full-time move out to Boston. So as far as I was concerned, that was me out there for good, I was living in the camp house and all. We got a shot for a date on Paddy's weekend out in Boston, which made sense, as an Irish man out there, it would have been well. But COVID hit the day before the weigh-in, it got cancelled. So that was unfortunate, of course. We got another date then for April 20th, but then the whole, obviously, I think the 19th of March or the 18th, the whole world went into a lockdown, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We came back to Dublin the next day. I thought I was only going to be maybe 4 weeks back in Dublin. I didn't even bring any of my gear home. I came back with a carry-on, But that's what happened. And luckily, I got in the position where I talked to MTK and we worked out a deal. And I think it's been a blessing in disguise, I have a chance now to work with the biggest and best management company in the game. Like, you couldn't ask for a better team behind you. So I think what didn't work out did work out in that sense, and I'm extremely grateful to be where I am now.
So talking about that period though, I mean, obviously you come home, you think like, oh, it's only going to be a few weeks, and then it isn't. Did you then think at the time, God, I don't know if I'm going to get another opportunity to turn over pro, that sort of thing?
I know, luckily enough, like, I've great family, my girlfriend's great. I'm kept in the atmosphere, I kept the head down. I was training. I turned my backyard into a little gym. I got weights, got a little bag and all up. And we had a bit of good weather during the time, so I kept the head down. I was out running, and I just kept focused. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I kind of just thought, I'm not special in this sense, Everyone's going through it, so there's no point getting down about it. You can get down about it or you can get over it. So that's what I done. I kept training, and I think it paid off because I got into position then to sign with MTK.
So you're with this other promoter, and then MTK comes along, snaffles you. How does that work out?
It was completely amicable because look, he knew the position I was in. He knew it was nothing personal. The reality is, you're not getting to America. You're not fighting in America, So it made sense for both of us kind of to call it a day, respectfully shake hands on it. And then luckily, again, MTK came along and they threw us a lifeline. So we get the chance now. We're fighting on a huge card. Like, if you've seen the actual card, there's a European title headline, and then there's the British title, and we're on it as well. So it's a great card you're making your first debut on.
Yeah. Like you say, sometimes, it's a step backwards, but when you step forwards, it's a bigger platform, isn't it?
That's it. What didn't work out did work out, So I'm really grateful, and I'm back home now. I get a chance to. I'm with my family every day, I'm with my girlfriend every day. So, like, it was hard when we were moving over to Boston. We didn't know how long it'd be, how long I'd see people for. But I feel like spirits are very high now. I get to see my friends, my girlfriend, my family, and it helps a lot. It really does.
Yeah. What made you turn over at such a young age?
I never you hear your second person saying it, but I didn't watch amateur boxing to get into it. Like, I didn't really care. I used to sit up and watch the professional boxing. I saw what a fighter can do and what he can bring to a hometown. Like, I saw Bernard Dunn sell out the Tree Arena every time he fought, and that's what I wanted. I saw people with hope and real excitement around the name, and that's what I want to do now. I want to bring excitement and give people something to look forward to. I want to bring big boxing back to the capital of Ireland, which is where it should be.
Yeah.
And I want people to say, Jesus, Paulryan's fighting in 3 weeks' time. Let's get tickets for that. We need to get tickets for that, Like, John Duddy was selling out Madison Square Garden, and he had scalpers outside it selling tickets for him. Like, that's what I want, and that's what we'll get.
To be fair, you should have it, because there were so many fantastic Irish fighters, and what I've seen, which is great for them, not so great for the boxing fans, that they're always going abroad though, aren't they, to fight?
That's it, yeah. Like, it's always going England, America, wherever you're going now. But I want to bring it all back here now, big nights and packed out undercards with real Irish talent on it. It could be amazing, it could be really something special.
Yeah. You got me excited now. I was just getting a little buzz then. You talked about the fact that you loved, watching professional boxing, but who influenced you to go into the amateur side?
I just wanted to get boxing, Like, at that age, I was 7, so I didn't know the ins and outs of amateur, Olympics, professional. I saw professional boxing. That's what I wanted to do. So the logical step was down to the local club. We went down to the Baldoyle Boxing Club. They says, in Ireland you have to be 9 to join any boxing club. They won't let you. Obviously, I'm being 7. But my ma was like, look, this is what he wants to do. He's been driving me up the wall about it. I'm not trying to dump him off as a babysitting service, And then the coach looked at me, and I jumped in my boxing stance, and I started showing him that shadow boxing, I showed him I knew everything what to do. And he goes, right, we'll give you a trial. You can come down every Sunday morning for an hour and a half to see how you get on. And my ma says she even used to sit outside the boxing club and wait for me, just to prove that it's what I wanted to do. And the rest is history,
I love those stories. I absolutely love them stories.
It's deadly, yeah. They're really, really good.
Yeah. And who was your hero as a child, as in boxing hero? Or heroes, even?
I used to love, Ricky Hatton was huge back when I was growing up, and I could see what he was doing out in Manchester. And he brought 10,000 people to Vegas. That's crazy. He was a man of the people as well. That's the thing, You didn't see him with security guards or anything like that. He'd walk around and he'd welcome everyone that comes to him. And he was the lad next door. Everyone knew him. And that's what I want to be. I want to be at the stage where people will come up and talk to me, because they recognise me from boxing, come up and talk, ask me about whatever it is, If I'm in the gym, I want people to come up to me. I just want to share the whole experience with everyone,
It's nice that you say that, because effectively, yes, okay, we can argue you're the one in the ring getting the beats, but it is the fans that kind of put you there.
It's without the fans, there's no professional boxing, They're the backbone of the sport. They make up a huge night. They're putting the money in your pocket at the end of the day. So if you're being an arsehole and you have security here next to you and you're not talking to people and you're not doing that, people aren't going to like you. You need to be just decent,
That's all, isn't it, really?
Just be a nice bloke.
Just don't be a dick.
just smile, shake hands, and that's half the battle.
So talking about your amateur career, what would you say is one of the best moments to date?
The proudest one that I have, I remember, it was the World Championships. It was just standing on the podium. I got the head down, got the medal put on me, and I kind of just took a deep breath, and I thought of everything. The years that I thought back to being in the club with my ma telling the coach to let me train, to the early mornings, the late nights, the good days and the bad days, and it put it into a perspective. This is why you do it, for the love of it and the pride you get.
Yeah. What was it like listening to that anthem? Because it kind of chokes you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing. And I didn't even, I should have probably practiced it, but I didn't even know it at the time, so I was the only one up there that didn't sing the anthem. I tried to just mumble my mouth a bit with it, but I didn't have a clue, so that was my own fault.
Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming though, isn't it?
No, it was brilliant. And then when we came back to the airport, there was like a welcome home thing, like a reception for us, and my family were right there at the barrier, and they had a big Irish flag, "Well done, Paul," on it. And it was the first thing I saw. My ma, my dad, my girlfriend, my granddad, literally the whole family, every one of them, right there, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, nice. What will you miss? I know that's one of the most amazing things that you could have gone through, but what else will you miss from the amateur scene?
The love of it, you're meeting people that are there because they love it. Like, that's what it is. Amateur boxing is the love of the sport. You see the passion from 10 years old up to the elite level that are going for Olympics, All the coaches that do what they do, it's voluntary, it's out of their own pocket. Like, the coaches I had as an amateur were amazing. 6 days a week they're with me, out their own time, their own pocket, missing time from their own family to work with me. And you have to really admire them for it. And then like the lads you have in the club and all, like I was lucky enough, I was friends with all the boys in my club, so you're down, you're having your banter and you're enjoying the training, and it helps so much.
There's lots of sad things that are going on at the moment, but one of the saddest things is that just that camaraderie down the gym. Yeah.
It's hard. Like, even every morning I'm training on my own, I'm with my coach and one other player, so I love it, I'm grateful for it, and they're doing above and beyond, but you miss a little type of a camp life, you miss the banter, you miss just everyone there, but it's kind of good as well. It's like, you remember the Rocky training when he's training for Drago, he's just on his own, that's what it's like a bit. So that's all right, I love that bit, but it's nice to have a big atmosphere there.
And that's your inspiration behind you, isn't it?
Every night, and last night we watched number 3, Rocky and Clubber Lang, and that's my favourite one.
Brilliant.
And you're seeing Clubber on his own in the little hall, just doing his all on his own, just grafting,
Yeah,
that's deadly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's going to change very slightly when lockdown loosens up a bit. You might be able to mix a little bit more, but in terms of sort of sparring and that, how are you getting on with that?
Well, we've been good. We've been getting really good sparring. Luckily enough, like, Ireland is a fighting country, so you're going to get work here no matter what. There's plenty of bodies here, so the sparring hasn't been a problem at all. We were planning on going to England for some work, but obviously, you have to improvise, adapt and overcome. So we've been doing everything. We've been getting our 14, 16 rounds a week in, high level, high work, so couldn't complain about it.
Nice. Sorry, I just had an image in my head then. When you said there's plenty of work, just people lining up down the street.
Out in the field across the road.
Just random people like, oh, fuck it, we'll have a fight. Yeah, I've been to Dublin a few times. I absolutely love it, to be fair. Sorry, I don't know why I literally just opening the door and you're going, come on.
Yeah, who wants
it? So tell me, have you got any sort of rituals that you do before your fights?
No, I've nothing at all. I used to get kind of caught up in, like, you only wear a certain pair of jocks or lucky socks and all that. But I kind of realised that it can give you an excuse to lose or to not perform. So if you don't have whatever you do, your lucky towel, that's in your head, and you're going to be thinking, you'll put the mockers on yourself, kind of, So I like to just go with the flow, What happens. You show up, you fight, and that's it. You can only control what's in the ring. Everything else is out of your control.
Talking of sort of rituals, there's been a lot of talk about, the crowd and the influence of the crowd over a fighter. What's your take on all of that?
I'd be lucky enough now that when I debut, I'll be having no crowd. But as an amateur, when I'm fighting, there's no crowds there. Like I'll have me dad, me granddad, me girlfriend, me ma. Maybe there'll be 10 other people in the whole arena. So it'll be quiet anyway. But I think that people can use it as too much of an emphasis for a good performance. Like of course they push it on, but at the end of the day, your job is in the ring. Whether that ring is in front of 1,000 people or one person, it's the ring. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it seems to me, but that this kind of lockdown situation, when you guys go to compete, is going to go on for at least probably another year. Do you think this is something that maybe sports psychologists or whoever these fighters are working with, they've got to deal with that element of things?
I think so. Like you need to get used to it, whether it's just sparring with no one in the gym, just 2 people there or something like that. But you can't avoid it now. It's the elephant in the room. They're going to be fighting in an empty arena. It's going to be quiet. You're going to hear coaches shouting and you're going to hear the punches landed, and that'll be it. So whether they need to do psychology exercises for it, but it's the way forward. It's going to be that for at least the next 12 months.
I would say 99% of people work with a sports psychologist or a hypnotist, right? I'm guessing they almost have to unprogram what they've programmed, but that's kind of their job. I don't think it should be, sorry to cut across you, but I don't think that should be the boxer. The boxers like trying to train and do all that and blah, blah, blah. The brain side is their job.
Yeah, absolutely. If the psychologist is mapping out their mental game and they use the crowd as a tool, they need to learn to use the emptiness as a tool.
Thank you.
If you're a nutritionist and you do a meal plan that doesn't work out, what do? You go back and you change the meal plan.
Thank you.
So you have to look at it in the same way you look at everything else.
In terms of like your relationship with your professional boxing coach, was he your amateur coach or did you meet him somewhere else? Just talk to me about that relationship.
So I'm working now closely with Joe Clifford. Joe has a wealth of experience. He's been with the best of the best in Irish boxing. From the Cubans that came over in the early 2000s, like Alexia Costa, Mike Perez, Luis Garcia, he's worked with all them. He's worked with Willie Big Bang Casey. He's worked with the Highland Brothers, Stephen Ormond, Declan Garrity, Jay Bourne, Dean Bourne, you name it. But I met Joe through my uncle back in 2013 it would have been. So I would have been only 13 when I met him. And he wasn't my coach at the time. He helped out. He showed me a few tricks of the pro game. The little inside work when you're bumping someone off. And we just kept in touch. And then this year I got talking to him, about, I was telling him that I'm out here fully now, I'm not in Boston. And we decided just to work together to see how it goes. And it's been amazing, like I'm learning little stuff every day. Like just the differences between amateur and professional, you'd never think it, but it's night and day,
Yes.
really is.
Yeah. What do you kind of do when you've sort of, you've had your, your day of training or your week of training? Do you guys sit down, have a look at what was good, what wasn't so good, and make adjustments?
Yeah, that's exactly what we will do. So the way we structure it, we'll do technical work, running, sparring, strength and conditioning. We'll do it in that type of order. And then after kind of the third day, we'll look back and say, right, that spar was good, it wasn't, this is what I've done, this is what I should have done. And then we'll work on it the next day when we're doing pads, when we're on the bags. If I lack a bit on the inside work, we'll bring that in the next day. So you just it's a game. You have to just keep changing it. You have to just keep adding on. You have to be a jack of all trades in the game.
I'm guessing, Paul, that there's just a brand new injection of excitement every time you go training.
Yeah, because I'm learning and I'm seeing the difference. Like even it's February now. January, I'm a different fighter from January. Like
wow.
When you'll do it naturally then in sparring, and you're saying, right, I've never done something like that before, or else you're hearing like Paulryan's really changing as a fighter. He's adding more stuff to his arsenal, and when you hear stuff like that, it just excites you and it makes you want to go better again the next day.
Yeah, it sounds brilliant actually, because I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but I'm not sure that every professional coach works in that way. I mean, of course, I see on the amateur side that happens, but I'm not so sure that it happens for everybody on the pro side. So it's great that you kind of, like I say, got this new injection of just, you just buzzing.
Yeah, no, it's really good, and I think we complement each other. Yeah, like I think it's important to have. You need to have everyone from the same, everyone singing from the same hymn sheet in camp, kind of. Same type of head, same mannerisms, but it's important and it helps a lot. And it's just like you enjoy it more. You need to get on with people that you're working with. It helps a lot, and you're going to training looking forward to it instead of you could be going to training saying, "Oh, I have to do this, I have to do." You're dreading it. You're dragging your feet a bit, but I jump out of bed and I skip down the road to training now.
Yeah. Do you know what? You can tell you love the sport.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm a real fan of it. I look back on boxing from the 1800s. I'm studying everything. I'm looking at Jack Johnson, Gene Tunney, the old school. Roberto Duran, the godfather of inside work. Like, you have to learn from every one of these, and then you put it into your own game.
Yeah,
adapt it, and I'll sit down, I'll watch Jack Johnson, and I'll take a bit from him, or I'll watch Roberto Duran, I'll watch Marvin Hagler, I'll watch all the greats, and you say that was nice, to pick that out. I'll show my coach a little clip.
Yeah,
I'll say that's nice, and then we'll work on it.
So thinking of that, who if you could be any other boxer, who would you be?
I'd be Floyd, probably, because he's a billionaire.
Literally, everyone says that.
A bit of money to him,
So nothing to do with his skills, ability, just bare money.
If I could be anyone, honestly, I'd love to be Marvin Hagler, or I'd love to be in that generation of the fighters, the real, the Fabulous Four. When you're a world champion, you're the world champion.
Yes.
And there's no doubt about it. There's no 10 other organisations. There's one belt, one man. Yeah. And you have to beat the man, and that's the way to do it. You weren't ducking fights, you weren't sidestepping, you weren't taking people when they're on the way down. You were fighting whoever's in front of you.
Yes.
That's professional boxing.
Yeah. Golden years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Golden years.
To become a world champion and to dominate back then like them boys did, you have to be special.
Yeah. No, what's the word? No, like you say, hand-picked or ducking or.
Yeah, you're not trying to catch someone at a good time when they're on a bit of a slip, or you're picking someone too early. If they're there and they're number one, you're fighting the best, fight the best, and that's it.
But I think what's happened now is it's become more of a business, and I think in the fighter's defence, I don't think it's always them that have the say.
Yeah, Mike Tyson had a quote saying, the difference between now and then is I was a killer and they're businessmen now. That's the difference.
Yeah.
But as well, it's a double-edged sword. You have to bring a fighter on. When you have a young prospect, you have to map out a path for them. You can't just throw them to the wolves straight away, of course. But when you have to step up, you have to step up. But you're seeing lads now that are 22-0 that haven't fought one significant live wire, So you have to kind of look at the past and see what they done right, and you have to bring it in and use what you're doing right as well.
Yeah, I think the difference with these days as well is the viewer has so much more knowledge about the sport, and so you can't keep spinning them a line for as long as you used to be able to.
You could be back before YouTube and Wikipedia or whatever. You could be at 20-0 like that I said, but no one would know who you fought, so you get away with it.
Yeah. I kind of like the fact that now people are a little bit more savvy.
Yeah, people are looking through the box recs and they're looking at the records, and you're getting pulled a bit on it now if you haven't fought a real opposition.
Absolutely. So what would you say is your style of fighting?
I try not to have one style, I don't want to be, I wouldn't want to be labelled as a counterpuncher, a boxer. I want to be universal. So, look, as an amateur, I'm a southpaw, I'm slick, fast hands, that's the bread and butter, that's the nature of it. I'm a counterpuncher at heart, and I always will be, but I'm trying to become completely universal. Yes. I want to be in a ring, and I want to say to a fighter, pick your poison. What do you want to do? Do you want to fight? Do you want to box? Do you want to go orthodox? Do you want to go southpaw? What do you want to do? I'll do it, and I'll beat you at it.
Yes.
That's what I want to do.
I'm excited. I'm excited for your debut. I really am.
I want to just say to the fighter, pick your poison. Do you want to fight or do you want to box? And I'll beat you at it. There's no problem.
And I believe you.
And the work we're doing, we will do that. 100%.
For the foreseeable future, Paul, do you think you will be staying in Ireland?
I do, yeah, absolutely. I could see it happening. It's been a working relationship. We've been flying, you know. I'm loving it. Like I said, I'm with the people that are close to me, so that helps out a lot. I'm at home, I'm happy, and like I want to bring boxing to Ireland, so it's the place to be. I want to be here, and I want to bring big nights back and give real excitement to people.
Beautiful. Well, listen, Boston's loss is Ireland's gain.
Absolutely. 100%. We're going to pack out the 3 arenas soon, and we'll bring out a real big night of boxing.
Beautiful. Listen, I hope by that time I can actually travel to see.
Absolutely, yeah. We won't be doing it without you.
Well, listen. Well, I don't know because I don't even know if we can travel yet. Until we speak again. Thank you ever so much for giving us your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and thank you for the platform you're providing for all you can come professional boxers and amateur boxers. It's great to see, and it's really needed.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Thanks very much.